Hey, it's Chris Mitchell inviting you to come out April 20th to the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley for the Big Move event. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's all to help the Laurel Center do the great things they do in our community. Here's what, if you've got kids, and let's say you've got young kids and you've got teenagers, and you've been looking for something fun to do with the whole family, well, we have that, no kidding. I promise you, the kids have a kids zone, the teens have a teen zone, the whole family's gonna have fun. Food trucks, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it won't be nearly as much fun if you're not there. So here's what we want you to do. Get a team together. Maybe it's folks from your church, maybe it's your kids' friends and their parents. Put a team together and come out. Now, here's what you do to register. See that QR code right there? Just zip that QR code in your phone. It'll take you right to where you can register. And it is going to be a blast. We're really gonna have live music and games and bubbles. Who doesn't love bubbles or a moon bounce? Look, we hope to see you. Find out more about it, but put it in your calendar, April 20th at the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley to help the Laurel Center. Now, I had the pleasure of sitting down with the top law enforcement officials in our valley to talk about what the Laurel Center does and how important it is to their work and to our community. So it's obvious that domestic and sexual violence have had an effect on our community. What do you think the impacts are that you can see? And I'm talking about schools, employers, all the rest of it, right? What is the effect on our community as you see it?
I think part of that, as with anything, there's an economic piece to that. When you are a victim, you can't go to work if you have a job. So that impacts. You have an employer who has an employee that is taking time off for they don't know why, and quite often they don't ask the questions. Children in schools, they're not showing up, they're not getting their education, or they are failing miserably, falling asleep, all of those things. So yes, it definitely has an impact across many facets of our society. But very often, people don't realize that that's the underlying problem, that it's something in the home.
And there's definitely long-term effects to these types of calls. There's studies out there that show trauma, violent trauma, can have long-term effects medically and emotionally on children as they grow older.
Yeah, it's basically like you. If you think about your upbringing from your parents, whoever raised you, what do you do at the table? Do you say grace? Do you say thank you? Do you open doors? Whatever you were taught. Now, what if you were taught, okay, when I'm mad, okay, I'm grabbing somebody and I'm throwing somebody, and this is what I'm doing. Now, what's that kid grow up to be? And that's that vicious cycle later on. When they're adults, what do they do? How do I handle myself in a stressful situation?
And a lot of times kids are the pawn. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's just kind of like, well, you know, if you don't come back, look what it's going to do to Chris if you don't come back. And we see that a lot. And once again, without, you know, talking more about the Laurel Center, you know, they know how to deal with things like that with people that come here, you know, how to get over that thought with your kids. And those are things that we have to look at too.
So when a victim arrives here, this is a soft place to land at the Laurel Center. You've got therapy, but you've also got you'll clothe them. You'll make sure they're well fed. You'll give them all the basic things, the needs that they need to I guess, recenter themselves and get their perspective on their situation so they don't have to worry about meeting the basic needs. And they can worry about healing themselves mentally, healing their children mentally, and I'm expecting possibly physically as well. And that's invaluable to these victims. I mean, we've been talking about it all day, but where else do they go if their abuser was the lifeline, the breadwinner, and now they have no place to go? Their home is where the abuser is in some cases. So that's one big reason why we've got to support Laurel Center. Just have to. And when we take this, we just heard about how many people are affected in each one of these jurisdictions. It's not slowing down. Every person that we had here the experts have been telling us it's staying steady, if not increasing a little bit. So, and funding has been decreasing, Faith says, while demand has been increasing. So just another real reason why we've got to rally as a community and support the Laurel Center. It's an obvious thing, but we need to say it. We need to make people aware of it.